complete, and animation of the character getting into the 300i. It was 3 animations that I captured individually and edited and stitched together, did a little more editing and made it fit the ship. So that's probably a long-winded.
that killed at least 3 minutes.
So I do another good question from Twitter here. It's not about animation.
Right.
I've got an animation question.
Wait, I'm ready. Hold on, I'm almost ready.
Question over here.
Okay. Will there be methamphetamines or similar illegal drugs in game that will have in-game benefits besides trading for money?
In-game benefits?
Okay, well, I think what they're thinking is, your character is faster, or it improves their stats.
Or you
But
get a
the-
What stats?
Yeah, the thing about Star Citizen is that it's your own skill that's important. So if methamphetamines are going to improve your pilot, but you have to actually...
No. We do not encourage any use of illegal substances here at Cloud Imperium.
I say it's like reality, right? You take this illegal substance which enhances your performance, and then you drop below your actual stats, and then
We don't have
eventually you have to keep taking them in order to feel normal, and it equals itself out.
Great. This is dark Star Citizen.
Wing Commander actually did have a great mission back in the day where you could get drunk. You had the
Wing
choice
3.
to get drunk before the mission, and if you kept taking shots at the bar,
The blurry cam? That was
blurry,
awful.
and your joystick would respond backwards, and
It was awful to fly that mission drunk. You had to do it once.
yeah.
But yeah, I remember Mark Hamill staggering out of the bar. And you get in the ship and everything's motion blurred. And yeah, weird control behavior. It was worth doing once, and then you had to go back and make all the right choices so you could actually finish the mission.
Yeah, so we have a vocab question over here from the chat roll. From Riggs, wondering how you get to do hand animation and if it's a 3-point that you're using.
I'm sorry, what was that?
And
Can you get that because maybe a little closer to the mic?
It was about hand animation, and if you're going to use 3-point system.
Yeah.
Uh,
Why it's not picking me up.
I don't know. I don't know about the 3-point system, but things will be hand key. There's no way that you can get away from doing hand key animation. Things will be. Well, we're going to motion capture as much as we can. We want that look, style, and feel for our game of a very high-end animation. There are definitely going to be things that we can't capture. Don't ask me what it is just yet, but those things will be hand keyed. And really, there's 2 philosophies of motion capture, right? There's the purist, where they try to capture the actor's performance. They try to make sure that performance comes through on the character. And they try to make it as pure as possible. So they go through great lengths to build the sets to scale to whatever's in their movie or their commercial or video game, so that the actor does exactly what the game character or the cinematic character is going to do. Then there's the philosophy of motion capture is great to get us 80% there, 75 or 90% there. And then we're going to take it and put our own little bit of flair onto it and embellish it and make it it almost gives it a kind of a half motion capture, part hand key look to it. And the philosophy behind that is what makes it cool. What can I do to make this in particular action really cool? And that's kind of my philosophy. I'm the latter of the two. If it takes some hand keying to make a piece of motion capture feel good, I'll do that. I'll delete keys on an arm, and I'll use the rest of the body's motion capture, and I'll make that arm do whatever it needs to do for that in particular motion. There's going to be things that we can't really do. I've worked on games where I've had to have characters come in contact with each other and do sort of like a melee execution where you grab the guy and you stab him and you throw him down and whatnot, and that's usually hand keyed. A lot of times it's hand keyed because you don't have time to go back into a motion capture studio and get 2 actors and suit them up and do it. So I'll hand key that kind of stuff. Sometimes the interactions that have to be heavily edited to to make sure that the characters interact properly. So there's definitely a hand key element to motion capture. But the great thing about this project is we're going to have our motion capture studio, right? So we can go back into the studio and we can capture those actors, grappling or whatever it happens to be.
Don't the actors get cranky when you stab them?
I would.
Only once.
Well, that's the great thing about
right, once. Good
that's the
point.
great thing about motion capture, right? You're not actually you can pretend to stab them.
Well,
You
I
don't have
like
anything in
realism,
your
man. I
hand.
mean, that's
My
This is a Chris
I'm
Roberts
willing to
game.
make
There
the
better be some actual
sacrifice that this game is
stabbing.
real. So I've got an animation question.
Oh, we're actually going to break up for a
wait,
moment.
wait, there's more.
Oh, we are Legante and Kin Shadow have reached a point where they're willing to sit down and talk. So we're going to cut to a couple of clips of their adventures, and we'll have them in here in just a moment to talk to Dr. Hawk.
Dr. Hawk is the moderator.
Oh yeah. All right. Yep. Clear the room.
Wait a minute! It's Kin Shadow again. I crashed as you saw in my last video, but I have no idea where I am. I spent the last 3 hours climbing out of this tree. Who is that? Legante. Hey guys. Hey women.
I don't know.
Carry fuel or I can carry cargo.
Legante, Kin Shadow. After years of fighting, this is finally starting to get a little too hectic around here. You guys are making people around here nervous. Things are getting a little out of hand. Pleasure to finally have you, and I don't mind as Dr. Hawk to mediate this, so let's see if we can solve this. Do you mind telling what started all this, Kin Shadow?
Well, it started all back when we were in both SQ-42, good old days, but it started with Legante giving me an expired coupon. Was part of poker winnings, and it was for a sandwich or something like that, and I went to go redeem it at the quartermaster. The boys got a good old laugh out of that, and so I decided to get Legante back. Had maintenance who held his locker shut, and Legante retaliated and started to build from there.
I'd have to say that peak point, he accidentally eradicated the entire B-57 population.
Well, no. Let's not cast stones here. I mean, you're the one who poured the curry powder into the ventilation system of that asteroid base and
Okay,
asphyxiated all the people there.
I don't think pointing fingers or, as you say, casting stones is going to get anyone anywhere. We need to resolve this, so let's see if we can work towards a resolution. Kin Shadow, do you think you can do anything to work towards a resolution?
All right. I